What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So I have a quick video. This is breaking news. I have to let you guys know about what's going on with this Silicon Valley bank. And this is a story that I told you I was going to follow, and I didn't plan on doing a video today, but I have to get this information out because Silicon Valley Bank is now, well, the bank is not being bailed out. However, the uninsured customers are getting a bailout. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. Okay, so let me show you guys this article here. And this is going to be all over the news tomorrow, and we'll be hearing more information, more details. So basically the headline reads here, Silicon Valley Bank depositors bailout makes mockery of too big to fail. Now, I talked about this yesterday when I posted the video, and I was talking about, is this bank too big to fail? Are we going to see a situation where the bank gets bailed out, or if it gets bought out or something? But in this situation, the bank has not been bailed out and they don't have a buyer for the bank yet. However, the uninsured customers, so when I say uninsured, basically what I'm saying is FDIC is going to cover you up to $250,000. There were a lot of businesses that had money in this bank, and I think it was like 80%. The vast majority of money that was in this bank was coming from businesses, and so like startup businesses. And so these businesses, they've let them know, look, we're going to insure all of that money. So if you had 10 million in the bank, it's going to be insured. If you had 20 million, 100 million, whatever, however much you had in the bank, they're going to, the federal government is going to insure that. Now, the federal government is saying that this is not going to cost the taxpayers any money. Now, that is just not true. It's impossible for this not to cost the American people money because the federal government doesn't have money. We know that. That's why we're going into deficit, and we continue to go into deficit every year because we don't have the money. But this bailout is going to happen. And so what that means is the Federal Reserve is going to start printing out money, and we might see inflation go even higher now because there's going to be an influx of money that's going to come into our economy once again. And we got to the point where we were starting to raise interest rates and trying to cool off the economy. But at this point, we are going to be saving all of these companies that were involved in this Silicon Valley bank. So they're going to have all of their money. And so that is going to cost the American people at some point. We're going to have to pay for it. And so this is something we were looking at the whole situation with the student loans and getting the bailout, and you want to call it a bailout or what have you. And you had a lot of people, and there are a lot of people on this channel that were saying, look, this is not, we shouldn't be doing this. These people knowingly took out these loans and all of this. And this is, I won't say it's a similar situation, but you see how fast the government will move when it comes to corporations. They're going to move fast, and they're going to try to protect those corporations because we have to face the reality. These corporations are funding their campaigns. They are supporting these politicians. So these politicians are going to do whatever they can in order to make sure that they're protected. And that's unfortunate because the average Joe, the people who are going to college and might find themselves in a situation where they're struggling, it's not a big deal. It really isn't. And they let this go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court is probably going to rule against the student loan forgiveness. And so that's one situation. And we've been talking about this for months now, Social Security. Are they going to reform Social Security? Why not provide some type of a raise for people on Social Security? But politicians, they keep dragging their feet when it comes to that. But when this happened, when we saw this situation of a bank going under and the possibility of all these companies losing their money, that's when politicians step up and say, hey, we need to do something right away. And you don't hear much pushback. At least we haven't heard much pushback yet. We'll have to see what happens this week if we'll see any politicians coming out saying, hey, this isn't right. We shouldn't do this. But as of right now, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the fact that anyone who had money in that bank will be able to get that money. They'll have access to that money tomorrow. And of course, they're going to pull that money out and put it somewhere else. And so this is just another example of how money runs Washington, D.C. This is a prime example of that. And so we'll have to continue to follow the story and see where it goes. And I know I say that all the time, but this is one of those situations where this is very dire. Now, the flip side, let's say we don't bail out these companies. Well, that will mean layoffs, and that could just drive us into a deep recession. And so when it comes down to it, you're kind of caught. If you don't bail them out, then we're looking at a lot of people losing their jobs. If you do bail them out, then the American people are going to have to front that cost at some point, and we're looking at inflation going even higher, which is a big fear. Now, there was another bank, Silvergate Bank in New York. They went under. So now the federal government has said that they're going to cover all the balances there as well. So it's going to be the same situation. And so all this money is coming from us, even though they're saying it's not. If they're printing more money, we're going to have to bear the brunt of all of this because, like I said, when it comes down to it, the money will be added to our debt. And if the money's added to our debt, we're going to have to pay for it at some point. So I want to know what you guys think about this, and I wanted to do this quick video just to let you guys know what's going on when it comes to the baking industry. And right now, it's not looking good. And we were talking about, is this just a one-off, or is this going to be the only bank that we see go under? Well, we already saw another bank go under, and that was just a weekend. So we could potentially see more banks go under. And another thing that we have to focus on too is the fact that some of these banks are a little riskier than others. And what I'm saying is they have their practices are risky. So they're investing in things that maybe they shouldn't be investing in. They're not diversifying their investments and all of this stuff. And so they're taking these risks. And now they're in a situation where they're struggling. And so if the federal government goes ahead and we won't say bails them out completely, because they're not bailing out the bank. They're actually bailing out the people who have money in the bank. But if the federal government is doing that, then the banks will just say, we can risk things, because if worst case scenario, people are all going to get their money back anyway, so we can take those risks. And so it's not really making the banks be responsible with your money. It's making them say, hey, let's just be risky because we can make more money if we're riskier. And if worst case scenario, the federal government will step up and take care of those people, and might even take care of the bank as well. So we'll have to follow the story. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll have a brand new video tomorrow. I wasn't even planning on doing this one. It is late tonight, but I said, you know what? Let me put this out, and then we'll put out a video in the morning. Talk to you in the next one. Bye.